It's been that kind of week for me, and I'll explain why I'm saying that on this segment of the Gig Geezer. If this is your first time checking out the Gig Geezer, if you're a returning visitor of the Gig Geezer, thanks for coming by. And if you would not mind, hit that subscribe button, give my content a thumbs up, share my content among others, and I definitely welcome comments in the section below. I'm on the east side of Spartanburg, South Carolina. There's only so many ways of getting through Spartanburg, and this happens to be the main drag to get basically out of Spartanburg, at least where I need to go to get out of Spartanburg. Now, the reason why I'm in Spartanburg, South Carolina is because I happen to accept a last mile opportunity on the freight app, delivering a Cobalt tool chest. And the drop-off location is about 20 minutes outside of Spartanburg, about 25, 30 minutes outside of Spartanburg, actually. Altogether, this opportunity paid $53 and change. Now, for the day, it actually put me just a tick over $400, as it's been for today, and it's been for every other day this week. Every dollar that I've earned thus far has been on local gig app opportunities, be it gig food delivery app or last mile gig app opportunities. No brokered opportunities so far this week. Now, for someone who has shared rather consistently or frequently in recent months and weeks about earning $2,000 or more in a week, this is the first week that I have gone without a brokered opportunity in a long time. In fact, I don't recall, I really haven't recalled one that being the case since really the month of June. I've gone basically 5 months in which I've booked at least one brokered opportunity. And this is the week in which it hasn't happened. And so that explains why I have earned to this point $1,448.64. And why I've earned, as of today, $400.18. Now, for some folk, you're gonna say, Geezer, you got to be one loony old bird to be saying that you're kind of off this week, and I am. I mean, really and truly, if you look at my past production, particularly since June, the weeks in which I'm usually doing what I would say is average, the weeks in which I am on pace, or you may even say just hitting on all cylinders, I am at or very close to $2,000 earned already by today. For me to be at $1,448 actually takes me back to this particular segment of the Gig Geezer, in which I shared how I had a very sleepless night, and I happened to catch some opportunities, brokered opportunities that kind of pulled me out of the ditch for that week. But this week every week is going to have its own challenges. Every day is going to have its own challenges. And again, for me, this week, no brokered opportunities is a challenge. And I've shared that, well, what happens when not everything's working? What do you do? Well, for me, it's had its toll on me mentally. Basically every day this week, I have come home and basically gone straight to sleep, because it's had that type of a toll on me mentally. You're trying to stay on point, looking for brokered opportunities, but you're also looking for the gig app opportunities. There's no rhyme or reason. There's no predictability when you're going to see them. All you know is that there's something out there, and you got to be on point to get it. So you do that multiplied by 1 day, 2 days, 3 days, 4 days, 5 days. It takes its toll. And then if you look at it over the course of a year, or even just over the course of a few weeks and months, it takes its toll. And the miles and the hours keep score, as does your body and mind keep score. That's something that my daughter kind of shared with me in recent weeks, when she had a medical event earlier this summer. She says, hey, the body keeps score, and the body will let you know. Now, One of the days this week, I basically didn't go out one of the days this week. What amounted to was an insurance agent's day on Wednesday. And that day had its own challenges as well, in that I've been wondering why I've had somewhat of a sizable account receivable with some business that I wrote this past summer, and come to find out, well, my goddamn customer hadn't been paying like he should. Now, he avoided one policy cancellation back on October 30th. I'm thinking that he'd had his other stuff straight, and so I should be seeing a commission run for the business that I've described actually in this segment of the Good Geezer as well. But then come to find out, he calls me up on Wednesday. Hey man, can you kind of help me? Can you help my ass out of the sling here? I need to know, do I actually have to pay today or tomorrow or what? I know that I got a cancellation notice. So he ended up having to pay exactly $1,495 to avoid cancellation. And I got the confirmation by email yesterday. So as I shared with another, as I shared with Jeru Trucking, Ruth is her name. I shared with her in a comment that I should see a commission on the business that was written next month. I should. Now, privately, I'd been sharing that I kind of figured that it would be as early as this month, but it could more than likely be December. The unfortunate thing about it is that as an insurance agent, the way that I like to be paid is that basically you don't get paid until your customer pay. And if your customer is flaky with paying, then you don't see no money. And it's kind of frustrating because then they're calling you always about certain things. They're calling you to guide them by the hand with things or to answer a bunch of questions, but yet they're not paying like they're supposed to. So therefore, again, that presents its own challenges, especially when you got to cover for a good chunk of change like that one was. Now, I'm actually kind of heading in the right direction out of Spartanburg. In fact, as I'm driving along Pine Street, the original Hardee's franchise restaurant was actually constructed on East Kennedy Street, which is what I'm passing. I think they tore it down before I left Spartanburg back in the year 2000. They tore it down, but that's where many of the pictures of former Carolina Panthers owner Jerry Richardson, he started his franchise along with a guy named Bill Bradshaw. And actually, here's a true story about that. I know I'm giving some little historical context though. Jerry Richardson was a pretty good football player. He was on the Baltimore Colts championship team. He quit playing football over a contract dispute of $250. He was looking to be paid $10,000. They would only go as far as $9,750. He said, fine, I'll just go into business. And well, as it turned out, 30 plus years later, he's awarded the Carolina franchise for a price tag of about $250 million. Not a bad parlay. But anyway, so we're moving out of Spartanburg, and we're still talking about how this week has had its share of challenges. So, as I mentioned, no brokered opportunities. The brokered opportunities definitely has been a significant factor by my earning, as I have earned in recent months. Also, I would go as far as to say it is a significant reason why I've been hitting the $10,000 a month in $10,000 a month revenue earned through this business enterprise. When the gig last mile delivery apps have kind of I won't say seized, but they have slowed in the volume and in the paying opportunities. The brokered opportunities has filled that void, and has filled that void rather significantly. In fact, at this juncture this month, I am closing in on $6,000 earned, which is kind of behind pace. But brokered opportunities, at least going into this week, had accounted for about 60% of my earnings. Now, with this week have been somewhat of a zero, brokered opportunities has come down into the high 50s, low 60s. It's still more than half of what I've earned thus far. So there you go. But what do you do? What do you do? You have to do like I do. You try to make things happen, maybe not at the rate that you're used to, but you got to make things happen some way, somehow. Fortunately, today I've had a very busy freight day. In fact, hopefully when I get back to Columbia, I know that there won't be any light for me to document. But what I will do then is, if I do any gig food delivery work, I will share the numbers from the gig food delivery work. As it is right now, going into this weekend, I still got a lot of work to do in order to hit 2,000. So that's where I'm at. If you like the content that's been provided in this segment of the Gig Geezer or in any other segment of the Gig Geezer, hit that subscribe button. Give my content a thumbs up. Share my content among others, and I definitely welcome your comments in the section below. I'm Inwood Lane. As always, may your grind and may your hustle continue.